Can I first start off and say that the film looked beautiful?
Thank you.
It really did. Like, it really looked gorgeous, like cinematography and the colour. And like, that's so, as you probably know yourself, that's really rare with dystopian films. I'm assuming this was a conscious decision, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, for me, this was a movie, it sounds bizarre, but when I was on The Office, the guy who created The Office, Greg Daniels, said to me, your job is not to play this role funny. Your job is just to deliver the lines. If people think it's funny, then that's up to them. And if they think it's sad, it's up to them too. The reason why I bring that up is because in this movie, my goal was to actually make a movie about a family.
Sure.
And make it about what would you really do for your kids. So I took the same tack when we were shooting it. I wanted it to be a movie that if you find it scary, I always said it's going to be up to them, just like he told me. So you make a movie the way you see the movie with through the family's eyes. So it was very beautiful. We sort of visually looked at things like Terrence Malick's movies. We looked at No Country for Old Men. We looked at There Will Be Blood. A lot of things that dealt with landscape and isolation in a very beautiful way.
Yeah. In terms of, I mean, I'm not asking about your personal life now, but I mean, just...
Yes, you are. Come on.
No, I swear, no. I mean, just the fact that, like, you're obviously married to Emily Blunt, and obviously you have a kind of a wellspring of information that you can be like, right, I want you to go to, remember when this happened, go to that.
Right, yeah.
Was that the case, or do you keep it separate? Or
no, we kept it pretty separate. I mean, I think the big trickery wasn't really trickery at all. I mean, the bathtub scene, the giving birth scene, I sort of... Instead of springing it on her, she was the one who was like, I got this. The whole birth thing is really more my department. And I was like, fine, fair. So no, I mean, really what it was is, you know, the old adage of you know, spouses having a secret language. Super helpful because it's the only language you have in this. There's not a lot of dialogue.
Just actually on that then, the dialogue, I mean, for you as an actor, I mean, is it the kind of thing that having less dialogue gives you more of a chance to emote, or was it a case of, no, you've really got to think about how you space it?
It's a really good question, and of course, leave it to a 13-year-old to articulate it better than me. But Noah, who's in the movie, the little boy, said, you know, the thing about no dialogue is it doesn't give you anything to hide behind. And I went, what are you talking about? And he said, well, when I learn my lines, I think about how I'm going to say it, the rhythm that I'm going to say it, and what I look like when I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
And he said, but when you don't have dialogue, you just have to be it. You just have to be mad. You just have to be sad. You have to be scared. And I thought, you should teach
really
a class.
Clever. That's really clever. Holy shit. We're a 13-year-old.
I know, exactly.
Christ. No, that's really powerful. In terms of you directing and acting, because I know George Clooney is a mentor of yours, and when he was doing, I think it was Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, he was saying that, like, you know, if you're directing a scene that you're acting in, you give yourself 1-2 takes. Was that the same for you?
It is, yeah, but it's that thing of, I think what also George does really well after I saw it firsthand when we worked together, is he prepares.
Yeah.
And so I think the reason why he allows himself 1-2 takes is because he's done all the preparation. He knows exactly what it's supposed to look like. And that's a different directing style. Some directors sort of find it in the moment. And so I sort of go more with what George had, certainly with this movie.
Yeah.
I think when you have no dialogue, you have a lot of things. It becomes a high wire act. You know, this idea that you're playing with sound that sounds the main character. You either pull it off or it sucks. And I knew that. And so going into it, I had to plan. Especially with Emily, instead of giving her notes on set or anything like that, we just did weeks of talking about the script and weeks about talking about every shot that I was going to do. So that when you got there, you actually felt like you didn't need that many takes because we were all already in the place in our head of what we wanted.
Yeah. Looking to the future, I mean, do you see yourself kind of staying in the genre films, or do you want to move out, or what do you think?
It really is all about what hits me in the chest. Like I said, this to me, yes, the scares were really cool, but this was about, I mean, it looks crazy when I say this looking at this poster, but this is a love letter to my kids. I mean, this is really about the fears that you go through as a parent, as a member of a family, and all these things. It was really powerfully emotional for me. So I think if anything hits me like that, I would love to stay in this genre, only because I was such a scaredy cat. And what I say about this horror genre is I was late to the party, but I don't want to leave. I mean, it is so much fun. I actually felt, the first thing I realized when I went back and watched all these horror films in preparation was how ignorant I was to not be watching horror movies. Because I think when I was a kid, there was probably this, you know, phase of horror movies that they were more slasher films when I was growing up. And now you realize the best filmmaking around is in genre. I mean, from Get Out to The Witch to The Babadook to one of my favorite movies was Let the Right One In. I mean, you see these incredible movies. So, I mean, I think the genre is changing so much that it's no longer just about, it's almost that thing of film and TV. There's no overlap, and now genre is no longer genre. It's just a really good storytelling medium.
Yeah, really cool. Okay, I have to leave it there.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, man. Cheers.
Thanks.